In a world wrought with struggle and strife, a world rich with beauty and grandeur, a world where peril lies around every corner, a world of casting and pony. One group steps up to share the perspective of the masses in this, the world of Warcraft. We are Pwnecast, the voice of the players.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Welcome back. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 68. We are in patch 6.2. I am your Warlock host, Belle. I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me. What a bunch of dicks these guys are. They make fun of me at the beginning of every episode. I hate them all. But unfortunately, I did bring them with me because I can't do this without them. They're kind of a big deal. So, that being said, I did bring the mage who uses mirror images of other mages who can actually PvP.
I do. I felt very powerful. I watched a video that just came out 3 days ago with Hanzo and Jamili go 1v1. And that was really interesting. It was about 30 minutes long. And these guys hate each other. Oh my God, they hate each other.
Why such hate?
The hate grows daily with these guys. They were both on different Twitch streams, and the whole world was watching them watch Hansel destroy Jamili. And it was really crazy how quickly it got violent with words. And they would join each other's chats, and it would get pretty nasty in there, calling each other a lot of names.
One's fire and one's frost, right?
Jamili went in as frost. I mean, as frost for a couple of them, but then he went to fire. And then
Hansel's only fire, right?
Right. So Jamili switched, and then when Jamili went to fire, he started beating Hansel, which was interesting. Yeah, that was weird. But anyways, I wish I could even just be. I wish I could just get their health halfway down. Would be awesome. Either one of them would be great, just to be able to try to take one out, get him half health, make him ice block once, and I would quit WoW forever.
You're done. Life's over.
I'm like, I made him ice block. I'm out.
Drops Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Drop the mouse. Boom. So that was really fun watching them play, and I am not anywhere near those guys' competition level. It's really awesome to watch.
Nice. Well, we are glad that you are here. I did also bring the Death Knight who wants to slay all of the Demon Hunter things, like in...
Again, the original Death Knight, the original WoW hero class, and will always remain the only hero class out there. Sorry.
Hater.
Very much so.
Shout out to the Death Knights and the Legion. Way to go.
Well, he's a little bitter. I did also bring the Boomkin who is returning to his elitist mentality, hots for shots.
Yeah, as we were all watching the new expansion extraordinaire thing, I was like, I've been an elitist. I've always preferred myself to be in better places. I've held myself to higher standards, not necessarily others, but I was like, I think this expansion might be the expansion where I really want to push myself and see what exactly I can get out of myself. And
because of Demon Hunters? I mean, what specific...
Are you going to make one?
No, not for a while.
Okay.
I don't like Warlock, and to me, this is my personal opinion.
I'm sorry, fuck off, right? Good.
Whenever they say metamorphosis, that is straight up taking it for Demo Lock, and I'm just like, why don't you just make Demo Lock better and let Demon Hunters make their own thing? Anyways, so I'm gonna try to attempt to find a fairly good server first guild, not one that's like, 2 months down the line we got server first, yay, top World 100 kind of server first guild, and hopefully we'll see some more out of that, because I miss PvE, but I want to make sure I'm happy while I'm doing it.
I won't see him for weeks when this happens because he goes completely dark.
We always lose him when he goes to a different
We don't even know if he's even alive. I feel like I need to just text him and be like, are you breathing? Have you
see me on the
did
show
you
and I'll be
change
like,
your diaper? What's happening right now?
All right, we're good. Let's do this.
Well, we are glad you're here and not looking forward to the elitist days, but happy that you're moving
I am.
into choices that are going to make you happy. So that's the good news. So,
I'll still make
in
showtime.
case you all have been living under a rock somewhere, or maybe you don't have internet for whatever weird reason, they announced the expansion for World of Warcraft, which is Legion. So, here's what happened the morning
was right.
of.
Oh.
The morning of, I'm up, I'm showered, I'm ready to go because I'm going to write an article about what's being said. I've got Rockstar and coffee, and Heather's here with Chris, which Heather's admin Ella, and they're here, and they're CCing children to school, so we have quiet, and Chris is bringing back Dunkin' Donuts. Like, we are in this house, we are freaking, the gaming house is ready to go. So it's like 5 minutes till, and my husband's still not here, and I got the little mini here, and I'm like, get your butt home. Seriously, I need to put my headphones on and zone out. I need you to get home. So it happens. I'm pissed off. Lycan's not answering Skype, and I don't understand what's happening because some of it's lore-based, and I don't understand because I either don't know or I don't know. So I'm literally, and I'm cussing him out, and I'm like, where the f*** is Lycan? Seriously, why is he not answering Skype? So
That's what woke me up, and I was like, "Oh,
I was
hey, it's
screaming.
time
I
for
was
a
mad because I didn't understand because at first I was not. I knew obviously that if you guys watched, if you didn't, I don't know where you've been. But in the teaser, which just so we're clear, it's a teaser, not the cinematic for the. A lot of people were on Facebook going, "Wow, that was the shittiest expansion cinematic I've ever seen." I'm like, it's a teaser. It's just they don't have the CGI ready for the actual trailer, so it's just a teaser. We were kind of a little bit accurate where we thought Gul'dan was going. We originally thought Gul'dan was going to the Tomb of Sargeras as a possibility, but it looks like he went to go to where Illidan was at. Now, Lycan, question for you while
Yes.
we're flowing through, a lot of people have asked me to ask you specifically. Some people are under the impression that we killed Illidan.
Yes. That's. I mean, at the end of it, it really doesn't. When you do the Illidan fight in Black Temple, we get him down to that one hit point. Maiev comes out, and then we're able to loot him after a bunch of discussion, and we're able to loot him. It doesn't really. I mean, we never landed that killing blow on him, but we're able to loot him.
Because I remember
You loot the Warglaives.
You do, but I remember him almost bowing, and then I kind of thought he was being put in prison, which that much is obvious that Blizzard has taken that, and he's in prison, and that's Gul'dan with all his power goes to go release him from prison.
He steps into a trap. Whenever you get him that low, he has to be, if I'm not mistaken, he has to be standing on the trap in order to finish the fight.
Gotcha.
So we didn't actually kill him.
Because he doubles over and he's sitting there and he's weakened and everything, and then the chick with the badass circle comes in.
It's not like the Lich King where he gets down, he does that whole thing, and you still have to hit him that last time.
Mm-hmm.
We never do hit him.
So we are going back. I'm going to ask a question that some people are going to be asking. So we are going back to our time.
To our actual timeline, yes.
Got you.
And nothing has changed as far as nothing we did in Draenor has affected our current timeline. And so we're clear for other people, we're not going back in time to a previous Illidan, or people are like, why are we going back to old content? This is merely picking up the pieces we left off of that were so much was left unsaid. People are upset. They feel like it's regurgitating content and all these things. I don't feel like that at all. I feel like now we're going to get closure, and we're going to start getting a lot of questions answered to a lot of things that we're doing. So now it makes sense. They ported Gul'dan. Last, Arkmon said, hey, you owe me. There's a pact here. So I'm assuming the pact in all reality was for him to go release Illidan. So the way that the expansion was put to us is that the hunt for Illidan begins. Mm-hmm. For what, though? Is he going to be on our side? Or is he going to, at the end of the day, they didn't really say he was going to be.
The only thing I ask is for a reference to be to the whole, you were not prepared. Like, I want him to come out of that crystal and be like, well, damn, I guess they were prepared. Like, that's the only thing I'm asking. Like, I will be satisfied for the rest of my life. Like,
he's going to go by and try to find everybody who remembers and kill him right away.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, guess we weren't prepared, huh, motherfucker? Yeah, how'd that crystal gel feel? Mm-hmm.
So
And on that timeline thing, to remember too, there was before some other sites put it out there. I know the one that watches Heavy Snows put it out there that, that we're bringing Gul'dan back. And I've said this from the beginning. He's coming back. The only thing we brought from Draenor was Gul'dan. That Gul'dan had something special to do back on here, and I kept saying, we're going to go see the Tomb of Sargeras. We're going to go see it. Sure shit. That's the only thing that's changed is we brought him back, and now we're going to the Tomb of Sargeras.
I just love how he goes in there, Gul'dan goes in there, and he has like a nerd out, right there. He's like, Illidan, and I just love that, because everybody he goes into business with, especially in WoD, it seems like they were either incompetent or died, and he gets to go with Illidan this time around.
Here's what's funny. I seen a meme on World of Warcraft memes, which is one of the pages I'm admin of, and the meme was, "This is awkward," and it's Illidan holding Gul'dan's skull, and Gul'dan's like, "Is that my skull?" Fine. Can I just take that back? Thank you. And that really begs the question too: is there any bitterness? I think
it was Jay Puzzle or Puzzle that made that.
Yeah, but what happens between these two interaction-wise?
I would just tell Gul'dan and say, "Look at the skull, buddy. Don't forget."
I know,
Don't
right?
forget,
Never,
sucker.
always remember. I'll
Always
never let go. No, but seriously, is Gul'dan secretly bitter? Because,
he's not against him.
Well, remember, it wasn't against him. He knows, I'm sure by now, that either Sargeras or Archimonde or Kil'jaeden had said, "Hey, look, buddy, this is what happened on the new timeline. This is why we're sending your ass here."
But wouldn't you be mad, Illidan seriously, holding a skull? Isn't Gul'dan going to be a little pissed off about that? I'd be a little bitter.
It would be weird to see your next business partner with your ex or yourself's skull in his hand, be like, "Oh, well, that guy was weaker than me, so
I would have
what do
been
we think about it, buddy?"
Shit, what?
I would just be
going on?
like, "So, can you tell me what happened last time so we can not repeat that and I can make sure you're not holding my skull?" Now,
Talked about my mom.
It was announced that there's going to be a new hero class, which is going to be the Demon Hunter. They are still deciding on what item level or what level that class is going to start out as. It's between 95 and 100 as the possibilities for it to start. Logically speaking, it's quite possible it'll start at 100, might start at 95. We don't really know, but it's going to be in that realm. At least you're not having to start from 1. Now, with the Demon Hunters, you have 2 specs. You have Vengeance, which is your tank spec, and you have Havoc, which is your DPS spec. These are going to be a melee class, and they are going to wear leather. Before everybody freaks out, I know there's a lot of Demon Hunter haters. I plan on having one at some point as well, but I'll never abandon Belle. I always take her through every expansion first. She's always my number one. My main's always going to be the thing I take through first, and I plan on checking it out. Obviously, I'm a warlock, so I like that they have some of the warlock elements as far as magic in there. But they're not that terrible. I think they're going to be legit.
I'm going to roll a Demon Hunter just so I can go into every LFR and every dungeon as a tank, go as DPS, wipe the entire raid, wipe the entire dungeon, and they go, "Look at how bad these Demon Hunters are. They are definitely not a hero class."
I think it might. Something fresh is always good, and I think it's going to be refreshing. Obviously, it's going to be.
I love it. The Demon Hunters. I wish they would call them something else. I wish they would just call them demons. I think that would have been way better. But
will you have one, Frieza? Will you make one?
Oh, never. I won't even name one. But I think it's going to be a new generation of DKs, another generation of you freaking people, and you're going to come in there and you're going to dominate and you're going to be on balance for 3 years, and it's going to be a disaster. But I love it. I'm in. And I do want to see them hold shields in their tank form. I don't know if they're going to make another class that doesn't hold shields.
They're going to have a specific form that they turn into.
Okay, I prefer them cosmetically to have more tanky gear than just transform.
They're gonna have more than a bear until they get the legendary. Oh my god, that was.
But I love that they're integrating the spectral sight.
Yeah.
They give up their eyeballs so that they can have enhanced spectral sight. That's legit. Right. Love it.
As someone who played a rogue, that's gonna piss me off. But as long as if it's on a 2-minute cooldown, as it stands now, there's nothing that can counter a rogue. So if you can take away a rogue stealth, you've effectively countered a rogue. But it's a 2-minute cooldown.
And to be honest, I mean, come on. This is the expansion that everybody wanted. It's the
true.
expansion everybody's been waiting for. Everybody since we've been in BC, we've gone, where the hell are the demon hunters?
What did we talk
We
about
got
last episode? We said this expansion was going to be directed towards the vets because that's the people they piss
Yeah.
off.
The Emerald Dream. We got
Yeah.
the Tomb of Star Garrus. We got Illidan coming back. We got demon hunters.
I'm just
You
hoping it's
people
not too
have
much at
nothing
once.
to complain about.
Here's what upsets me about the complainers, if I can address them. It upsets me that people are like, oh, Blizzard's out of ideas. Here's the thing. You know how you watch a show and one of your main characters is off season for like a whole season and then they randomly come back and you're like, yes, my favorite character's back, or maybe they kill the character off and they find a way to bring him back in. You're so excited about that. Why is this any different? Why are people so quick to jump down Blizzard's throat? To be perfectly honest, and this isn't kissing Blizzard's ass, I was extremely blown away with the thought that Blizzard has put into these things.
Actually,
Extremely blown away.
I saw a meme that brought it all together because I'm excited for it. I'm genuinely excited for the whole spectrum of it. But someone was like, all the veterans, anyone who played pre-Wrath of the Lich King was like, BC was the best expansion ever.
Yep.
Going back into everything that BC was about, oh, it's just a rehash of content.
But we're moving forward,
it's
though.
amazing content.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
That's right.
understand where you would be.
It's going to be BC on steroids, hopefully.
Agree.
We're not going to Outland. We're going to the fucking Broken Isles, people.
Yeah.
They're
this is
moving
something-
Delaran. It's moving from its
Again.
current point in time.
Yep.
This thing is floating through the
Cool.
sky and moving.
First time it just went up, now it's going somewhere.
I love how they're bringing the capital back. I can't get enough of that.
I
Go
just
back
love
to what
how-
works. Go
How
back to what
many
works.
people bitch on the forums because Delaran is dead?
Yep.
How many? And now you're going to bitch because they're bringing something back that you requested. You asked for this to happen.
And they're showing more of
I
all
for
of them.
one think we're in for a really good time. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, Blizzard's broken promises."
At
That's
this
the
point,
same in a relationship.
No.
There's broken promises all over the place. What's the freaking difference?
At this point, people are just looking for a reason.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
it's
I
not-
seen somebody on there. If I can't take my Garrison with me, I'm unsubbing. Wow,
What?
a douche.
Are you for real?
Yeah, that happened.
Oh my
That
god!
happened.
I can't even talk to that person.
My response on that was not really. It was not conduct becoming
of a writer.
anything really.
I would like to ask them,
Dominating.
when did you start playing? What, 6 months
I
ago?
was just like, seriously, what do you need it for? It's in Draenor. We're going to another new mats, new
was
profession editions, like all these new things. So, I mean, people at this point, I do think it's people just bitching to bitch. They don't have any other thing to do except for bitch, but the masses are very ecstatic. So let's go through.
And I think it was more than just a business thing. I mean, I think it's half and half, but people got to remember too that this was already in the making a year ago.
They already
and
have
so they say,
gameplay.
"Oh, this is random. This is what they need to do because the subs lost." Because I saw a meme and I laughed at it, but I don't think it was true.
break
It says,
case of emergency.
break case emergency, and it's Illidan inside the case, and it made me laugh because I was like, that's funny, but it's not accurate. It's not accurate.
They have
you know?
gameplay for the Demon Hunters. Clearly that they've been doing this for a while, which
Yeah.
explains why we didn't get any more content in Draenor. And they even said in their interview with, I just read another interview. I can't remember the name of the site that I just read it on. It probably was something on Wowhead. They had stated, we realized our issues with Draenor. There was a lot of content, but it wasn't really understandable. There wasn't a real clear direction where we were going in Warlords of Draenor, so
Yeah.
we addressed that with the Legion. So these guys made mistakes. They fucked up badly. So
And like
bad.
I said before, there's no blueprints to any of this.
Oh.
There's no blueprints. You know?
You show me another RPG that's been around for 10 years that has this many expansions,
Yeah.
still going strong.
Yes.
And
This many
and
expansions I can't prove, or
And
I
they
can't say anything
did.
for,
They
but
did
Guild
it
Wars has been
well.
around for a long
The
time.
execution might not have been that great. I don't think they should have done it at Gamescom. I think they should have done it in their own venue. I'm not upset about that because I'm hoping we'll be able to get either beta keys or something out of going to BlizzCon for purchasing BlizzCon
Yes.
tickets. I'm sure there's going to be something in it for
I
the
think
BlizzCon.
beta will
folks.
be out before that.
I think so too, but I mean, there could be a number of things that we could get Legion related, so I'm stoked.
If anything,
Sign me up.
If we get them beforehand, we could just give away the build.
Yeah, and it's
the
called
ones-
BlizzCon, not WowCon. I mean, they
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to use it. So let's start talking about some of the components that were interesting, namely the artifacts. So to explain, if you guys didn't understand, the artifacts to me, if I were to explain it to somebody, it's similar to your legendary. in the sense of you're going to get it pretty early on in your questing through. And let's break down some of the ones that I know about. The eagle sight was for the hunter, right? Or eagle soar, eagle seer.
Eagle spear?
Eagle spear, there you go, thank you.
That was for monk.
No,
That was a survival hunter.
that's survival hunter.
It's a spear.
They're coming back with melee survival hunters.
Yeah, they're going to be melee.
If you look on the website, it says monk spear.
No,
The one with the bird and the bell and the...
the monk is called the Staff of the Mists. Shilun, is that a reference? I don't know a lot about the monks. So Shilun, it's the monk staff. The legendary staff that was used by the last emperor of Pandaria to shroud his homeland in mist, and it resonates with his everlasting legacy, wisdom, and perseverance.
I was unaware that they're
Shilun.
bringing back hunters
Okay,
with melee.
yeah.
Yes,
And then
the survival
Hunter-
hunters
Oh my
will
God.
be melee. Mhm.
I'm gonna nerd out.
So for paladins, you've got the Ashbringer, your two-handed sword. The thing about these artifacts, for Death Knights, you've got the Maw of the Damned, which is going to be your two-handed axe. You've got the Ebon Chill, which is the great staff of Elodie, mage staff. And
right.
then for the hunter bow, the Thastora, Legacy of the
Thastora, yep.
Windrunners. Well, I mean, I'm learning how to say stuff.
Which I'm so excited about Terrellian of Valyria, but that may actually end up being Valyria's bow.
So
those-
with these artifacts, what's going to happen is you're going to upgrade these in stages, and it's going to come with base stats, and you're basically going to keep this weapon throughout the entire expansion. You're not going to have to go and get 50 million different freaking weapons, because this is going to be, each class is going to have their own, and this is going to be your thing. Your get down, your own weapon. You're not going to swap out. This is going to be yours from pretty much very beginning.
I love it.
You get to upgrade it as you go, and
And it's a weapon, not a stupid ring.
You
Sorry.
can change the color. They're going to let you customize the color as you go forth, which, as we all know, will lead into what? What is it we've been asking for? Gear
Nice.
customization.
Yep.
And
I'm-
wow, if you've seen the overlay, it looks like the old town trees. The amount of customization that
Yes.
you're going to be able to do on these weapons.
Yes.
I don't think it will go back to the old talent trees.
It
I think
is.
they'll
It's
fill
already
all of them.
there.
No,
If you
I'm saying
look
I
at the
think you'll
way-
be able to fill all of them out.
Yeah, but the way you fill this out is
It
you might have it
looks like
comes
the
up.
talent trees.
Yep. One
Yeah.
can go this way and one can go this way. I can actually spec into having my weapon use Raise Ally on myself.
Yeah. You can.
Hey,
it's,
it worked. It worked back then. Why not now?
I think they're trying to go back to
Yeah.
speaking to the players. And I know
Well,
people don't understand this because most of you that complain about it are ones that are new. I think
Yeah.
they're trying to speak to the players that have been here since day one.
And just like I said, a lot of veterans, we want more customization. We want more of our characters to be personalized to us. And I was going somewhere with this, but I can't remember.
We're going
I don't know,
short
I'll come
by
back to
minute.
that.
I don't really.
I'll come back to that.
They brought in translog, and that was somewhat of a fill. But then you have classes that have a lot of awesome looking gear. Then you have things like druids, and we have like maybe 2 sets that look good that are druid specific, but other ones are just like off colors of rogues or maybe monk now.
So we're going to be introduced with the patch for flying. We're going to be introducing. They're going to be introducing aspects of the Legion, and I'm assuming it's pretty similar to the End of Mist, where we had those beginning quests to do our thing and other things with other stuff and other people. So, questions regarding garrisons? Garrisons are going to remain in Draenor, which is not news. They said that from the very beginning. It served a specific content purpose. That's what it was for. It wasn't for us to pack it up on the back of a fucking truck and take it to the next island. It was for us to have an outpost as heroes saving Draenor. We're still going to be able to use that. They're not taking it away from you. You can go back to Draenor and use it. However, how useful is it going to be in the next expansion with new mats, new profession craftables, new things? Are you really going to want to go to your garrison? But here's what they did do, and I love Blizzard for this. What did they call it? The class... I can't remember the name of it. I'm totally on information overload. There's been a lot. A bit like the Warlock's going to have a portal, similar to how Death Knights have. What did they
class
call it?
orders.
Yes, the class orders. So each class is going to have their own way to get to their own little zone, like Death Knights have Ebonhold, right? Is that what it's called for Death Knights? So Druids have Moonglade.
Yep.
So
Who's going to be the leader of the Demon Hunters?
We don't know that yet.
We don't know that
We
yet.
don't know that yet.
Even like the demon hunters are going to go back to the probably going back to Naroon, which is their home world, which is the war where they're trapped. You guys are like, yeah, you can imagine though that warlocks are going back to what is that place called? The Zorothian Plains, where you guys get your dread steeds. That's going to be like your own special area. In the halls are gorgeous. Like the Paladin one looks fabulous.
Yeah, that does look really good.
So let's talk about one of the next aspects of it, which is...
We didn't get to talk about the most important artifact of them all, and that is the Druid, Feral, and Bear ones, where we're actually going to get
so
a
many.
customized kitty. Oh my god, I was like, huh.
And can we touch back on the artifacts for one more moment? One of the artifacts that we're going to get, which enhancement shamans will get, is Doomhammer. And not to... First of all, they said when we go back and we find out and we end up in the Broken Isles that everybody basically is going to be pissed in one way or another. The players.
Mm.
And I think, and this is just my guess in the future, I think either we're losing Varian or Thrall.
We know
Thrall,
Varian
yeah.
goes because Anduin is a main part of the story, and
Right.
Anduin's set to be king. So we know no matter what, whether he disappears into some twisting nether bullshit or goes to go play housewife with Jaina or whatever it is he's going to do, we already know Rin's going to play a very small part in the very beginning, and Anduin's set to take over.
And Doomhammer, though, could Thrall just be saying, chucking it and saying, screw it, I'm going with Agra?
Throw
and
in the hammer, if you will.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of things. I mean, the artifacts are great, but there's going to be a lot of things that come along with it.
So the Broken Isle is going to be the new zone, which, hello, exciting. I don't even know where you are, what you do, or what's on your continent, but I know that I want to be there. That's what I know. The playthrough that they did where they showed you some of the maps, they have a really pretty red and black map where it's like a lot of red. I don't know if it's blood, I don't know if it's flowers, but I like it. It's intriguing. I think we've already done so many cosmetic changes to the game that they really get to focus on making this really just knocking it out of the park. So
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, you're fine.
I was going to say something about Anduin. I was still on that topic. You're good.
He's got, his little model here on the website. He's looking less like a little child and more like Justin Bieber. So he's in that awkward transition.
Here's the thing: is when I think of him, I think of Rathion right away. I think that's like I don't know why I picture them as friends. I picture them as
they're in the angry daddy issues.
Yeah, they are. My dad abandoned me to become the biggest king or whatever. I don't know, but I just that's the first thing that came to my head is if Anduin becomes king, I know Rathion will show up. And that's probably where he's going to make his appearance.
They did ask the developers directly regarding Rathian, and it's unknown is what they stated. We don't really know. We don't know if Rathian's holding any kind of place here in the Legion. So we don't even know.
I think he's going to save it for later expansion.
I do agree with that. I think that could be an expansion of its own, to be honest. Rathian's a friggin' weirdo. So we do get to see the likes of Illidan, which we're going to be hunting him. It's unclear if we're going to be hunting him to kill him or hunting him.
We should never be able to kill him. I
I
totally
agree.
against that.
So we've got Illidan. We're going to be seeing Sylvanas again. Obviously Gul'dan. Obviously Khadgar.
I think if anyone's going to kill Illidan, it's going to be Malfurion.
Now, the Tide Mistress, is she a new NPC?
I think she might be a new model. She's been brought up before, though, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't recall her from anything. So, and Frostkaren didn't recall her either, or Hunter. When I asked, well, I don't think I asked Frostkaren. I think I asked Hunter. He didn't remember her. So I didn't know if she's somebody new that they're adding to.
I've never heard of Athissa before. It might be just some way to tie her into the whole Queen Ashara thing, which I love the name of. The dungeon Eye of Ashara.
Yeah, we're actually going to talk about that next.
Good, but I think that's all she was just kind of a filler person. Never heard of her.
Interesting. Okay, so some of the things that are going to be brought is, and I know that Frieza has to be excited about this, is the PvP aspects, and I know why he's going to be, right? You are excited.
Yes, although I wasn't going to talk too much about it because I like to actually physically see it and understand it completely.
Well, you're a Call of Duty player, so you'll already understand it.
So I had a flashback to Prestige. I'm against Prestige, but I like to see how they're going to run it. I did listen to the whole thing where they talk about you get, pick your own talents or whatever. I don't know. It's one of those things where nothing's official. Nothing's official.
They're attempting to bring back they're attempting to integrate what PvPers are requesting, which is customization and separating PvP from PvE, and that's what this honor system is about.
I was so for the customization part. I want to see this. I want to see this before. I want to see how it's working before I say anything positive about it.
It's rewarding. So right now, the current rewards you get are you get bragging rights, you get glad status, you get all these titles. Now, your reward comes when you max out on one thing, you reset it and do it again. Your reward comes in, you're getting better items for yourself, better stats for yourself.
Yes.
You're making yourself. It's a purpose besides capping and being done, right?
I just don't like it too much because at the moment, again, people, at the moment, it's one of those things where nothing's factual, nothing is like that. But I'm not a big fan of things that someone can become greater because they play all day. That's what I'm against in PvP. Don't
you have to play a lot to be better anyway?
Prestige, no, that's what Prestige is all about. Prestige is all about. If you play Call of Duty and you play all those console games, Prestige people, they get all the abilities, they get all the buffs, they get all the, they call them, I can't remember what they call them, but they call them all this stuff during gameplay. They get it because they play a lot and they get rewarded for doing it. They don't get rewarded for winning.
Now
they get rewarded for playing, which is what I'm against in Prestige.
He did not say that they were going to get any additional damage or anything like that. They were just going to have the ability to customize a few things as far as their specific spec is concerned.
Weekly?
All of it.
Weekly, or is it going to be...
No, it's not weekly. They're going to have to...
Okay, so another thing that they brought up was you have to level to unlock all the talents.
Right.
Prestige, all the prestiges it has all cosmetics to it. Prestige
and some stat changes.
And
yeah, you're allowed to adjust some of the stats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but with the talent tree system, they're not. I guess it'll increase it minute amount, but they never said how you're gonna level. Like. Is it going to be
you're
killing
maxing it. You're supposed to. No, they haven't said that. But for instance, something interesting is I think the main thing that you would like is with your leveling and your prestiging and all of that, you get identifiers on your next to your title. Like there's identifiers where you get to say when people automatically see this specific badge by your picture when they click on you, they already know you're a bad motherfucker because you got something that they don't have. So I think the reason I thought you would really like this is because it's distinguishing the average from those that are really, really trying to.
That's what
rating, right?
That's what I love. I love that.
If I'm not mistaken, if you look at the level 1, that was a trinket.
Yeah.
So are they going to be giving everyone an ability that's a trinket?
It looks like that looks like it was an inherited insignia that you get, and which I've been saying from the beginning. They've had such a hard time up until this point of distinguishing between PvE balance and PvP balance. Now you're getting your own special talent tree. I know the one was abolish magic for priests, and it like dispels every single magical thing off you and keeps it off of you for 2 seconds.
But it's something to do besides getting what happens, you get all your conquest gear. You're good to go, you're progressing, you're going for rating, you're going for achievements, you're going for titles. This is in addition to that, this is stagnant happens at the end of a season, and once you've gone so far or whatever, what is there left to do? What's there left to work for? This is rewarding the PvPers for them to keep pushing forward. Okay,
yes, that's what I want. I want the people to get rewarded for the ones who are winning, the ones who are going crazy with the
putting
teams
in the work,
and everything.
Right? Yeah.
Putting in the work for. I want those people to be more successful.
Less about like 2200 rated or 3300, whatever the hell, but more about your accomplishments while you're getting to the end game.
I don't think this is actually about any of the end game, like the 2800. Like that's cool. They already get all their own stuff. Hold on.
Yeah.
They already get all their own cool stuff. But for people like us, we don't really care about rating. We're there to have fun when we don't spend all week doing it. So this kind of gives us a reward outside of just straight up pushing ranking. Like, because there are people that just want to, like, the only thing they enjoy is PvP, but they don't have the people to really do arenas with, or they don't like arenas. They just like the going in there and killing people and making people mad kind of deal. That's what Weenie does, and I swear that's why she likes PvP. But it gives them a reward for not pushing, because the people who get 2,700 and higher already get already get pretty big rewards as it is.
Oh.
What I see this as is, and a lot of things with the way that they're in this prestige thing is, Fries, to be honest with me, I mean, if you know, most high-level PvPers come in and they either do their arena fights, they do their maybe rated battlegrounds if they're pushing a rated battleground. Outside of that, how much do you run just random battlegrounds for the hell of it?
Never.
How much do you go out and just, if you're on a PvP server, just go out and just start slaughtering people for the hell of it?
I did before MOP.
But how many people do it now?
Oh, almost. The percentage is it's not even a percentage anymore.
They're bringing back the world PvP aspect that was there from vanilla and BC. They're bringing back the system that we still have in place, and they're pushing this whole thing. This is to keep you busy between your arena battles, between your RBGs. Gives you a reason to log in on a Wednesday for a random friggin' hour and just go in battlegrounds and slaughter people.
But what they're really doing in truth is they're finally acknowledging the PvP community and giving things to them instead of always PvE.
I heard the whole battleground thing. They didn't add any new battlegrounds. They didn't add any new arenas. But I don't want them to make me go to battlegrounds.
But they
don't want them to make me do it.
They didn't say they don't have any new PvP content aspects. They just didn't mention it all.
There's other ways. Like, you can go to a PvP server, and there's ways to get, like, I was doing Tanan Jungle, and I rolled Feral because I was like, those talons, though, for the legendary, and I was like, I'm going to start messing around with Feral.
But it'll be interesting to see how it plays itself out, and how I love the fact that Blizzard acknowledged the PvP community, and I love the fact that they're putting into the PvP community.
And I know that me and Lycan, Hots, I know that even your Dark, we had many conversations of how they would ever balance PvP and PvE, because like we've talked about on the show, you know, there's way more PvEers than there is PvPers. I mean, it's not even the same ballpark. So every time they nerf something in PvE, because people are complaining there, the PvPers have to feel the you know, we get hurt because of that. So this is their way of saying, okay, well, PvPers are going to have their own stuff, and you guys have your own stuff, and that's what we were talking about. I remember we had many conversations on how they would do this. At first,
their problem was the gear. They finally figured out how to separate the gearing aspect of it, like, so people don't show up to raid with full PvP gear on.
Yes.
And people don't go into BGs with full PvE gear on. Now they're separating the nerfs.
Right.
So that's... Right.
So hopefully,
because I understand the PvEers. I know I talked to Hots about this a few times, because I kept asking him. I go, so what's going on in there? How come when they nerf a class? Because I don't PvE people, so I don't really know what's happening in Mythic and Heroic. I don't really know what's going on with it. I didn't know that the demon warlocks, you know, demonology was going crazy in PvE, and then they nerf it on PvP, and I'm like, why'd you nerf it? It already sucks. But I didn't know that on 3 months it was freaking rocking in PvE, and so I didn't know that. And that's just an example that goes on. And I always ask people, why did they nerf it? Well, they were doing this against this boss, and they were doing this and this, and it's just not fair. The damage is too high. And I'm like, but in PvP they have no damage, you know, and they nerfed them again. So I'm very happy to see that they're fixing that, and it's been many years that they should have done this.
In general, that's what they're doing with Demo. They're actually revamping it. It's going to be more demon specific, to where you're going to be mastering your demons, and that's going to be the focus where demonology is concerned, which is only natural.
It would be great to see them completely redo that class.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're breaking it down completely.
And it's a perfect time. It's a perfect time to do it.
So,
make it, I love it.
As we get more information about the new PvP honor system and what's going to be happening, there's going to be a development panel tomorrow. I'm sure they're going to be doing lots of stuff.
I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, we'll make sure we keep you guys updated as to what these changes mean. I am going to move along here a little bit, because the show's almost over.
But I do want to
still have like a whole bunch to go over.
I do want to give a big solid statement on the honor system and on how that's all going to work after I find out a lot more
all
about
the things that are involved in whatever.
Yeah, because I don't want to say it's great yet.
Because we don't know. I agree with you. I think they're in the right direction, and I think my hat's off really to what they're doing. So With the expansion, there's going to be the improved transmog system, and stuff's not going to be taking up shit in your bag space, more customized items. I mean, there's a lot of shit that they're doing, because God, was that a mess anyway. My whole bank is filled with stuff that's transmogged and void storage. So they are making changes to that. Obviously, being able to change the color of your artifacts is going to pave the way for more customization. What they usually do is they test it on a small thing and then bring it to the rest of the world. We've got new world bosses, and it's the order halls is what they were called that I was looking for, the order halls, the class-specific order halls. There's obviously going to be tons of new things that go along with the expansion, all those things. But let's talk about the dungeons and raids. So a dungeon's going to be the Eye of Ashara. How funny is that? And they laughed when they said it. How
they were like,
funny.
I wonder where that came from. And I was like...
the Emerald Nightmare.
Oh, can't wait.
Which is going to be a raid. I mean, they're really doing a nod to a lot of things here. We still will know at the end of this expansion when they wrap it up and they do that little... Which explains why we also have not gotten the patch yet, because they're going to tie in Legion to the end of this. This will be the final patch. So
I don't know. Because they only really do that whenever there's about a month out from the expansion.
The latest dev interview, he said that you're going to see part of Legion with this flying patch.
Yep.
I mean, it might be wrong because they might just want to give you some kind of taste of it, and it might be 2-3 months before we ever see anything new.
Yeah,
but
they're going to slowly introduce it instead of doing it all 1 month before. And they said that they're going to keep introducing more and more of it.
Okay, so it won't be the last. It'll be the last huge patch, but there'll be smaller patches introducing new stuff. Okay.
Now, Khadgar in Legion is leader of Kirin-Tor. What happened to Jaina? What's going on?
Maybe that's where Thrall disappears to you.
Quick tinfoil hat time.
I mean,
oh God.
really,
I'm ready. I'm ready for this tinfoil. I'm ready.
Happening?
I've been thinking about it. And, okay, so I keep telling everybody with that, Tiash, and it's a big thing with Khadgar and Karazhan. And Karazhan. And I said that, I love what, was it Hazakos, you said? Watcher Dev?
Yeah, Watcher Dev. He had tweeted the day before the announcement that he was sitting atop a perch that reminded him of Karazhan. How fucking random are you at 5 in the morning?
And then he turned around and said, that Karazhan will play an important part in this expansion. And I've been telling you there's got to be something with him in the guardianship. Even I've said this before. Anybody else has been putting it out there, and it's going to have something to do with that. So what's really interesting about this is that Jaina, mind you, is the head person. She's in charge of the Council of Tearsfall. And all of a sudden, he's got to be something to do with the Guardian, and then he goes to the current tour, and she says, fuck this shit, I'm out, and he takes over. There is something major in the mix that either he does, he says, or that the current tour turned to him and said, you know what, we're tired of going to number 2. Let's go to the number 1 mage right now, and let's get this stuff done. And I really think that there's going to be a big shakeup with her being the Council of Tearsfell's and person who's in charge. So, I don't know.
So many things could be happening, but as I'm reading some of the notes from the Icy Veins interview, here's why I love Blizzard even when they piss me the fuck off. Professions are getting a lot of new stuff. The profession team for Legion is the largest Blizzard has ever had for World of Warcraft for developers for one specific instance of the game. They clearly heard the feedback that professions were underutilized in Warlords and overlapped with the Garrisons. How much heartache did it take for us to stand up and say, we fucked up with the Garrisons, guys. We're sorry. Seriously, we're going to make it better. We screwed you and we apologize that we made it bad. This is why I love them, because they are attempting, doesn't matter if they broke it. It matters that they're attempting to fix it, because really they don't have to give 2 shits. They could just.
They don't.
I mean, we could just throw some other shit out there and people will buy it, and who cares?
That's what shows that they have a passion for the game. They have a passion for the people. They love the idea of the lore. They love the players when they're happy. It makes them happy. And
Realm First is not coming back. Also, in any form or fashion, as far as achievements, titles, any kind of recognition, as far as Realm First. Here's the reason why. too much value was being placed on Realm First, so people were burning through content instead of going at their own pace and enjoying content. Riders does whatever the fuck they want to do. We ain't Realm
What
First
the
anything, so...
Yeah, that's the entire enjoyment of the game for some people.
For some, but what they're trying to do is make it more about experience in the content and less about...
I'm against it. I love Realm First.
Well, people can still do it. They're
it.
just not acknowledging it in-game via an achievement anymore because
then
they
what the
feel
fuck's
like
the point in doing it?
people are going to do it. I mean...
What were we just talking about before the show? 168 days for Molten Core.
You know,
I know.
But they'll still get community recognition.
But that's because it was challenging. Make a dungeon that's challenging to make it where it's 168 days.
No. Wait, but
I mean, I would understand a month now because the whole aspect of raiding has changed, and it's almost impossible to make it that hard.
And he made a good point. Plenty of third parties track. They track all that. So if they're not, Blizzard's not saying we hate you, firsters. But they're just saying we personally are not putting achievements in the game for Realm First, and I'm sure this has ticked a lot of people off. But
yeah.
I mean,
as a raid team, okay, this guild gets it first. Cool. Whenever I go up and I'm like, oh hey, I was a part of this guild. Then they have to go look at what's wrong with having an achievement to be like, hey, I got this.
I agree with him.
Server first isn't for everybody, and everyone's already understood that. So if you're not a part of a server first guild,
I feel like it's one of those things where unless you're an elitist, and I'm not meaning that in a bad way, but just that that want to drive for. I think I would.
Well, it goes back to any video game. People who want to get rated, people who want to become world first. You know, in any video game, I used to play Halo, and people who couldn't. The first people who hit 50, the first people who hit the highest level, they were like that was amazing. You know.
Perfect example. Take away Gladiator title from PvP. They don't need it. There's people who track it. Take away Gladiator title. Take away the Gladiator mounts.
Oh, people would have breakdowns.
Just make them have 3K ratings.
And you know, as we go through, maybe they'll find something special for them. We don't really know. I mean, all they said was about achievements. We don't know that they're not going to find another. I mean, the community speaks and they're listening, so maybe they'll find another way to give them some type of mention. Or, I mean, it's not going to stop the Realm First guys. They're still going to forge ahead and be fucking not sleeping for 2 fucking weeks so that they can down shit.
It's the recognition, because that shit's forgotten. You know, it's like, oh, who is that again? It's cool, but I have something to say that I can be like, oh, hey, look, I was a part of this 10 years down the road.
Meanwhile, I'm over here like, I don't fucking care who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything. Like, cool, you're cool.
But
let me ask you this. Who can you tell me? Can you tell me right now who was world first Nax Ramus when it dropped?
True.
And Lich King?
I don't know.
Who was world third heroic Nax Ramus? Yeah,
the U.S. guild. I remember
but for a resume, if you were trying to go 5 years from now to the next expansion, trying to get into a hardcore team, you can say this is what I've done. Like a resume, you can say I can get hardcore if you allow me to get hardcore, and that's
why not show
just like Gladiator, People who have it. People who have it. I know. I respect people who have that achievement.
I
respect
pissed about
So,
this.
moving on, because we're over time. I'm hoping maybe Blizzard will come. I mean, I see both sides, and it makes sense. So hopefully they'll have something. No stat squish is planned for Legion. They're going to continue to let it rise. He did state that in Legion we'll probably be seeing some Siege of Orgrimmar numbers as far as health and stuff like that. So that's exciting because I miss those big, huge, long dick dongs. So I'm excited about that.
I miss it, but at the same time, it's to be expected. Like,
we're increasing
more levels.
We're going to be in freaking 800 item level here in the next 6 months. Probably.
Okay, if the gear is only like 2 points higher, why don't I just keep my current gear and then just do whatever? Like, there's no strive to get better gear, and then it becomes dull. So
because right now, like, I'm looking outside of PvP, I'm at 300k, but last night in Rated Battlegrounds, I was at 725,000 health because of the banner and everything. Those numbers are coming back, and even those little ones are actually going up very much higher than what.
And here's something they can put down in their books. You know, they now have a blueprint where they can say fans can survive a stat squish.
Yeah.
Right.
They can do it. So if they need to do it the next expansion, not this next expansion, but the next expansion after that, they can actually stat squish again if they want to, and know that the fans can handle it.
I thought for
We've
sure
proven it.
that they were going back to like BC numbers or like Wrath of the Lich King numbers. I didn't think it was going to be like, oh, by the end of the expansion we're just the same as we were at the end of the last expansion. I was like,
Yeah, where he said we're going to be seeing some Orgrimmar numbers, which is going to be really nice. Overall, you're going to be able to boost to 100. You know, obviously that was to be expected because the level cap's going to be 110. A lot to be said still, a lot we don't really know. They announced it early for a reason. They announced it before their own con for a reason. There's a purpose behind everything. I think we're anticipating beta end of August, beginning of September. And I think we're looking at December, January release because if they do it, if they push, a lot of people are thinking it's around the movie time, which is what we thought. However, I'm going to continue to maintain this. They keep going out towards 2016. The farther they go out, the more they look like liars to people because they went on the record and said we want yearly expansions. I'm predicting live end of December, beginning of January, maybe February.
And didn't they kind of say something about somebody
screwed up in an article and said we expect the numbers to turn around when the new expansion is launched at the end of the year, which was stated. I don't know if that was a direct quote or if that was the writer that put that in there, but I mean,
if so, that could
your
be...
ship is sinking. You're down half of your subscribers. What do? You push ahead. You get shit out there. You make them happy. You do
and you make
things.
sure it's good, not just so
no Ashran.
and
But
hope
see,
it
the thing
sticks.
is, they've been working on this shit for, we don't even know how long. This could have been predating Warlords. We don't know how long they've been. Maybe this, we don't even know. I can't even.
I mean, I completely agree with that whole statement, but obviously now there's a little bit more of a fire under their ass saying, hey, we kind of need to, step up.
Yeah.
And they are making everybody happy. They're fixing PvP. They're fixing professions. So your gold sellers, the lore.
Amazing weapons.
Content rich is as much as I can say. So much so that I've started reading all the World of Warcraft books.
Mop,
I need to know.
If you go back and watch the whole Mop, I wish I had a list here, but if you played Mop as much as I know we did, you go back and you remember every 3 months, every 6 months, we got something. We got something new, and we got to a new island. We got new quests. We got new stuff. And Mop did it. And it was funny because we all hated. Well, not all of us, but we didn't like Mop.
The last year we didn't get anything. The last year we got no patch, no nothing.
But again, it was still one of the best expansions I've ever played.
I love it. So many people complain about Miss. I loved Miss.
I know. They don't complain about it no more.
People haven't thought about
I know they complain about WOD.
People haven't thought about this either. With how easy, I say easy in the terms of they haven't specifically said how you're going to be upgrading these legendary weapons or whatever, but they're class specific.
Mm-hmm.
They're spec.
I love it.
Class specific. So now you have a point to use dual spec. You have a reason to go through and do it for wrestle. You have the reason to do it for balance. Feral, Guardian, and then level alts. Like this totally gave more casual players that don't spend a lot of time on the game something to do to progress characters to make them feel individual.
Agreed.
I want a paladin just to have, and I don't have one, but I want one just for the Ashbringer. For Frost Death Knights, we're taking Frostmourne and making 2 damn axes out of it. For Bloods, we're doing a 2-handed Maw of the Damned thing. It's just, I mean, dude, I seriously have goosebumps because I'm thinking about all this stuff that's coming to us and how much they're...
As soon as I saw Corrupted Ashbringer, I was like, I just thought of like a good 1,000 paladins that I've met over the span of time that just shit their pants.
Here's what Chilton had to say when he was interviewed by BlizzPlanet. The Legion will be introduced to players in the event that takes place before the expansion launches. This will take after the Flying/Mercenary patch, which wraps up Warlords content. There won't be a Ruby Sanctumisk patch. While the new boss was entertaining, it was exciting for about a week and then dull. Players, ICC, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's what he had to say about us moving forward. I want to know how BlizzPlanet interviews these guys. They're not any bigger than PDQ. I need to figure out whose ass am I not kissing to be able to interview these developers? What am I not doing right?
That's so American of you.
I know. How do I climb to the top?
When I see Mike in November, we'll talk about it and see if we can.
I need to figure out how these guys make that stuff happen. Anyway, so
you gotta show them numbers of the people we have watching. That's how a lot of podcasts do it.
Well, these guys aren't even a podcast; they're a website.
Mm-hmm.
BlizzPlanet's a website. They're a news website, as we are, except they cover all Blizzard stuff. We just cover WoW. And we just made it over 200,000 views for the website since its launch in February.
Shoot.
Maybe we just need to bring it to their attention.
We need to apply for that.
Yeah, I need to get in the press box and figure out who we need to be loving. Maybe Blizzard might be mad at us because we are mean sometimes, and they might not appreciate that.
No, they're used to that.
I know,
they're
right?
freaking used to that. We don't send them death mail. You know, I bet you they get all kinds of crazy stuff in the emails. So we're not that bad.
For those of you who are wondering why we're rehashing old things and you're frustrated because you felt like we were going to see something new, we are seeing something new. We're experiencing things we only read about. There's so much that was left unsaid with a lot of these main characters that it's still developing and it's moving forward. They said in the very beginning that it was going to be tied together, WOD and the next expansion. Everybody knew at the end of this expansion, Legion was happening. We were being pushed in the direction of the Legion in the beginning anyway, so it was only logical and natural to assume that that's what would happen. I fucking love Illidan. That motherfucker's a badass.
Here's the thing, for a lot of the veterans out there, you know, I bet you they feel the same way I do. You know, back when BC was there and they were raiding and doing dungeons, you know, I was a warrior tank. You know, I was a whole different person, a whole different guy. Now I'm a frost mage.
What does that look like?
And I'm a boomkin, like.
Oh, that's right. You were a warrior. I forgot. You did used to tank.
Yeah,
right?
my original character, Tapua, his name means apple. It's a Hebrew name. But yeah, I was a tank. And, you know, it's so great. You know, I hate to use the word phrase. I'm not going to use it. This expansion is go back to BC. This is a whole new Legion. And I definitely want to go in there with my Frost Mage. And I'm so excited to be a different person against the Burning Legion, or not the Burning Legion, against the Legion again.
So,
but a different class
let's do a round robin, and let's each of us, instead of Week in WoW, let's talk about what we're most looking forward to in the expansion and what elements we're hoping they bring, because a lot of people have been messaging me all day saying, I can't wait for the episode because I want to hear what you guys are thinking. Your minds have got to be blown. So we'll start with you, Frizo. Let's talk about what you're most looking forward to.
It's just the whole PvP aspect.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
A good time.
There'll be a lot of succubi there for you. There'll be a lot of the succubus's there for you.
I'm ready. I don't say no. But I don't know. There's so much that I saw in the teaser and then in the whole presentation that they gave. I'm definitely looking for the PvP. I'm always the PvP. I want fairness. I want balance. I want everything to be perfect. But I know I'm not going to get it. Where I was going with that was somewhere. I don't know. I'm speechless. I'm actually speechless because I don't know. I really don't know what I'm looking forward to. I want to get into. I'm looking for arenas. I'm looking for about a lot more arena maps. I'm looking for something like that. I'm not a PvEer. I don't think I'm going to be getting the raids again. I'll probably just do the LFR. But I really hope they fix Battlegrounds. I hope they never bring back Ashran or anything like that. Let's just eliminate that factor. They haven't said anything about adding something like that, so I'm in. You know, they brought back Capitals.
I think they won't say anything about that till the very end because I'm pretty sure Holinka's fired everybody already, and now they're training a new team of PvP developers because of Ashran alone. So
that's great now. They know what doesn't work. Told Barrett worked, Wintergrass worked. I know Hots for Shots. You were there in those days, and you know you can't compete with that. So if you can't compete with it, either redo it in the same aspect, same form, bring back the love of the game every 2 hours. You remember that, Hots? Every 2 hours, you have to go back. You didn't have to.
You couldn't queue until it was 15 minutes prior.
Yes. Oh, good times. Oh, my God. And you get queued in. That was it, man. That was freaking it. And if you didn't get queued, you missed it. It was just straight up. But I'm looking forward to the Capitals. That's probably, as of the moment, because I don't have enough information for the PvP, at the moment, it's Capitals. I said this in the last episode. I want Capitals. I couldn't get enough of that. And especially in the PvP realm, if you guys are on Tichondrius or Darkspear, the population is insane.
Well, Dalaran's back. Dalaran, half of you say
Dalaran.
Somebody said Dalaran yesterday, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's Dalaran. And they're like, no, it's Dalaran. I'm like, okay.
Thing from back in time, like, don't.
An interesting.
Go ahead.
No, when you say so, if Dalaran is a thing, is there world PvP even though there's two separate zones?
No,
How does that work
no.
on your?
And it's just like the old one, where you can't fight in there. You can't.
Okay. But you
can't
get to
go
see
into
each
the
other.
horde one.
You can't go into each other's bases. It just ports you out.
It's a neutral zone. Even on PvP servers, you can't fight there.
Is it?
It takes
You want
Is it
the
called- Go
MMO
ahead.
part of the game back. You want that.
That's what I love.
Yeah.
I love going to the Capitol and seeing hundreds of people walking around talking, and you see them all disappear because they're different parties, and they're going into the arena matches. I don't know what it is about that, but it feels alive to me. It feels like I'm going to a big concert, and I'm like, I'm here, everybody. I have arrived.
Beaver rules.
Yeah, go Beaver. But I don't know. That's basically what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking for the interaction, getting people out of their garrisons again, getting people to world PvP like Lycan said earlier. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. And I think a lot of the old veterans are getting sparked up. They're remembering what BC was like. They remember the world PvP we had back then, and I think hopefully they bring a lot of that stuff back. I don't know. I don't have enough information right now.
You're looking for the love again.
I am.
You're looking for
WoD really hurt me, and I remember when I know me and Lycan had a good talk about this when the next expansion. This is months ago, and he said there's going to be a part 2, and I said if there's a part 2, I'm not going to play again. I'm just going to wait. Because if there's a WoD part 2, I'm out, man. I'm not doing it. So, but I'm happy they didn't do that. So, because I know Lycan, that was one of your theories a long time ago.
What about you? Like in obviously the lore aspect of it, but I mean,
I could spend hours and hours and hours on it, but to sum it up real quickly, just, first of all, Illidan's always been a favorite character of mine. He carries around the Betrayer title. I really wish that the Betrayer title shows the players that he's not the Betrayer of Azeroth, but he, meanwhile, is the Betrayer of the Legion because of what he did and what he sacrificed. Though it was for the wrong reasons, he did sacrifice a lot to help assist with that. Going into Dalaran, and like you were saying before, and they're seeing that there's more to it. They're saying that there's it wasn't fully understood, and there's some other parts of it that we don't know about. To actually be able to explore some of the stuff that I got to when I first played WoW. I came in right at the beginning of, like, the first week of Wrath, and when I hit that level 80 mark, and you walk into Dalaran or you fly in it and you hear that music for the first time, that song still gives me goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
So to see more of that is going to be great. Terral and Illyria, seeing them guys, what happened to them, bringing back all this stuff. Like, we're going to learn about the Vrykul race and basically their Valhalla. These are the guys that left Northrend because they were being persecuted by the Mad King and ended up down here. We haven't heard about these guys for almost 10,000 years. Before Wrath, where the hell were they? We're finding out where they went. Getting more into the Tarn lore. We got night elves down there that have been gone for centuries
A new
and
elf
forgotten.
race. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they said.
So,
I was like,
the
they
Tarn
already
have
two.
the Tarn have elk horns. They evolved to have like these elk horns.
You mean they were interspecing is what you really mean.
Interracial,
there's some jungle stuff happening in that
There's
jungle.
probably
in
a
Sudan.
porn site out there for this.
there's been some interspecies connecting and monkey bumping and stuff happening for antlers on Torns and shit. That's some weird. That's
They
some
did
fetish
a
shit.
stag form not too long ago, and Torns can be druids.
Right. Well, we're looking to back around Cataclysm. When Ghostcrawler was here, was at Blizzard. We kept saying there's a lot of people saying, "Hey, where's our elk mount? We want an elk mount." It was a big joke that was around. And when they made the stag form for druids, he goes, "There's your elk mount." He goes, "No, we want an elk." We may actually get that. So they are playing back to all these people in the past. Your lore people, your PvP people, your PvE people. This is the big fanboy expansion that we've all been waiting for, and there's so much I want to experience, and I know I'm gonna have to do a PvE thing to get geared up for raiding. I can't wait to go back and take my time through all the zones and learn all the little innuendos and little nooks and crannies that are in it. I can't. It's just Again, goosebumps as I'm talking about.
And the one thing I want to add to the swords, to the artifacts too, is I hope that you will no longer be able to get them after the expansion. I hope that if you have them, and you've earned them, because you can transmog those to look like your new weapons in the next expansion. And I hope that the people who didn't go to that expansion, they don't have that weapon.
Remember, you can't transmog legendaries.
Yeah, you can transmog the legendaries into another weapon, but you can't transmog it to look like a legendary.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Which maybe these weapons will grow with us.
Well, they are.
How awesome would that be? No, like past the expansion.
Past the expansion?
How awesome would that be? Is that okay? Look, you've had these. You got a special title. You got a special. Maybe these looks, but maybe they'll grow with us into the next expansion. Maybe these are our weapons. Because come on, Doomhammer. How long has Thrall really had that?
I like the way you think.
I like this.
Vanilla.
When you think of Thrall, you think of his Doomhammer. When you think of the Lich King, you think of Frostmourne. Why not carry these weapons through? And these are your weapons.
And if you didn't play that previous expansion, everybody knew it because you didn't have the weapon.
Yeah. Right. These are going to be your weapons, not just everybody's weapon.
I like that.
That's what I'm excited for.
Hots, what are you? Hots, what are you excited for?
Well, I was ready for server first, but apparently that's getting taken away from me again.
It's not being taken away. I'm pretty sure all the elitist guilds out there are going to be like, that's not going to stop us. We freaking...
They're still going to do it.
Yeah.
The title, or not the title, but the achievement part of it. I'm 100% okay with going through and seeing the content and making sure I see it through the expansion as it's releasing. I don't want to go back and do it as I'm like 20 item levels higher. I want to do it while it's challenging.
Yeah.
And that's more along the lines of what I mean by all that. But more so as being a druid and have been for a couple of expansions now, I've always had a druid. I might not have mained it, but I've always had one. Kitty and Bears having armor and customizing it and making it look more badass. But Dark did.
Will you have underwear? Because I'm sick of looking at your bare ass in the freaking RPG.
Maybe. But barebacking is a thing, and it's kind of fun to do. But wow, together that was kind of awkward. Anyways, making just that alone, I was just like, the druid community has been screaming for that forever. But Dark did bring up a good point, like I was saying, is they just introduced the new look for druids. How is that going to tie in? If they're using the claws of Shuravala, or however you pronounce it, and how is that armor?
How can you not pronounce it? Do you even druid?
Because,
I don't pronounce that word.
Oh.
Shabara.
Yeah,
if you've
Shabara.
actually seen what they were doing, first of all, I love the way they announced the druid thing, like you were saying, where they showed like the kitty, and then the kitty looking the same, and then the kitty looking the same.
It was a troll, and I knew it. Right. I stared at him. Like, his fangs look the same. Oh, them some bitches.
And then what's really cool though is they're offering like a spectral form, and they're going to offer this form. So you may have spectral claws Shrivar guys running around. So yeah. So it's cool that they're going to be able to do it all. Shrivala, that's it.
I can't pronounce anything, and for some reason the druid form is the only thing I can remember.
That's funny.
Freaking weird.
I never use that talent, so I'm just kind of, it's in the back burner. Anyways, Belle, what are you looking forward to in the expansion?
Let me guess, it's about a warlock.
No, actually.
I get to be a demon. I get to be powers.
No. I'm actually, to be perfectly honest, I'm looking forward to the success of this expansion, and I'm looking forward to seeing old friends that we've lost. I'm looking forward to seeing a community come together because they're so happy with what Blizzard's done. I know a lot of people are really jaded with Blizzard because we were promised things in Warlords of Draenor that we didn't get, and I know that they've stumbled. I'm looking forward to the community coming back. Even now, of course, there's some negativity, but for the majority of it, it's positive, it's buzzing, it's humming, it's excitement, it's Blizzard knowing they screwed up, they let some people down. Now here's the I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I did in WOD. Here, please take all of my apologies. I'm giving you all of the things that you guys have been asking us for. I'm excited for what it's going to bring together for the community. I'm excited for my guild. I'm excited for my friends. I'm excited for new and not old mentality, and I'm excited for even this lore. A lot of that stuff, I don't know. I'll know it by the time Legion comes out because I got all the books. Lycan gave me all the books, so I have all of them. I'm reading them in the tub as we speak, starting with, what am I starting with? War of the Ancients. So I will know all of those things because this expansion is rich in content. But I'm looking forward to what Blizzard's going to bring out, and that's what I'm looking for.
I bet you, I'm 100% positive on this, that there will not be a queue time this time around for getting inside your realm when they
really realized a lot of their mistakes, didn't they? They really
did.
That's been a thing since the beginning. Good luck.
Nothing this bad. It was never that bad.
My hope would also be, we talked about this.
We
talked about this. I wouldn't be too surprised if the digital version of the expansion will be free.
I'm teetering on that idea.
I'm only saying this so that it can be said if that does happen. I would be really surprised if the digital version, I'm going to talk about the collector's edition. I think here's what's happened. So we're down 5.6 million subscribers. At this point, I'm saying we as if I'm Blizzard, but we're already losing money, right? The ship is already sinking. We're tanking. We're going down. Investors are getting pissed the fuck off. Board meetings must not be fun at all.
They're not happy.
So what do you do when you say sorry to the players? How do you bring the boys back to the yard? You bring them back with free. My prediction is that the digital download will be free if you resub by a certain time to a certain time, because then they're getting some of that money back that they've lost already, and we're giving players free shit. This is just a prediction from a business standpoint of Blizzard. If I was on Blizzard's marketing team, that's what I would do. So if Blizzard doesn't do that, they should probably fire their marketing team because it's smart business, this whole thing.
At that point, they wouldn't be gaining any money that they have lost.
They would be breaking
they
even.
won't be losing any money either,
Because they're already losing that money. So giving that money back to the players in 4 subscriptions, if they put that note on there, okay, you get this expansion for free if you subscribe between now and when the expansion's launched, your account will be flagged for you to get it for free. For every 4 subscriptions, they would be making what they would make on an upgrade for you to get the expansion. So they would break even and they would be happier than, because right now they're not making anything. They're making their half.
For free, then you're spending what, $15 on a collector's edition?
I really feel like this is something that I don't know why I've ever since like the other day I've felt like that this was going to be Blizzard's direction, and maybe it's my hope that because they're bringing expansions out yearly now, it's a lot of money to shell out for people yearly. So my hope is that they do. So it's on the record. If it happens, then that's great. If it didn't, Blizzard really should look into a new marketing team because that would be a smart business move, and it would make people happy. So many people on the forums are saying, I'm not paying another $60 for a shitty expansion because they don't know. We're being told all these things. That's what Frieza said. We don't really know at the end of the day if all these things are going to come to fruition and if they're going to be amazing. We're going on blind faith here and praying to God that this company that has led us through the last 10 years of glory is going to be able to finish in the end.
I'd say about 7.5, 8. The other two.
Why I think you're right is, too, whenever Call of Duty messes up or a big name like that, or like World of Warcraft messes up, you always hear about the investors and how they're not happy. We've not heard this. It would be nothing for them to go to their investors and say, look, we know this. Look, I mean, this came out 3 days before the drop. Said, look, we know it looks bad. Here's what we're going to do. It's going to work, and they're going, you know what, you're right.
It's going to suck, but it's going to suck less because we're still putting money in your pocket and we're making the players happy at the same time. I'd really be surprised if they charge for obviously they'll charge for the collector's edition, and I'm sure Blizzard will find a way to get their money. I'm sure they always do, but you have Heroes of the Storm where you could buy things. You have Overwatch coming out. There's so many other money makers for Blizzard that giving away the expansion to loyal players is nothing to them at the end of the day. So that's just my theory. We'll see if we're correct. But I'm excited. Get excited because this expansion, we're going to be talking about it there as more information's happening. Tomorrow there's a panel. Next week's episode will cover all of that stuff. I mean...
Oh, yeah. That panel's going to be interesting.
Yeah. It's
going to be really interesting.
I got to get up early. I hate my life. Yeah, it's kind of sucks. But
fill me in whenever I wake up, you okay?
Right. But we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. You guys know how to get a hold of everybody. Last week's comments on the episode were great. Please keep that up. Let us know what you guys think about the expansion. Like the episode and give us a comment and tell us what you guys think. Give us your theories on what you'd like to see, where you'd like to see things go. Make sure you guys are stalking the Facebook page because we're on there pretty much daily, doing our thing, as well as the PwnCastDailyQuest.com. But I'm ready for Legion. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I asked my husband if I could have an Illidan tattoo, and he said yes. I don't really know if he said yes, but I'm telling you guys he said yes.
So
I'm saying the name "You Are Not Prepared" in certain area could really freak with him. So yeah.
That's funny. That's
the
funny.
way you think.
That's hilarious.
Give me ideas. So you can find Frieza on Frosty
1321.
I should know that by now. 1321. You can find Lycan on the Pwnecast page. You can find him in game as well. He's all over the place. At basically Lycanthropo is where you can find his stuff. Hots for Shots is all over the place as well. He spreads himself around because he likes a good time. And you guys know where to find me. I'm all over Azeroth doing Secret Warlock things. So thank you guys for joining us, and thank you for spending your hour with us every week. We love it and appreciate it, and we are going to get the hell on out of here.
We'll miss you. Bye.
I don't know. But before we go, I wanted to showcase my shirt. So this week in the Pwnecast Gaming House, Hots for Shots was traumatized by one of my daughters. There was a certain situation that occurred, so I bought this shirt in his honor.
I survived Shark Week.
So this was bought specifically for him. Those of you with teenage daughters probably already know what that means, or wives, really. He did mention that I should have got this for him to wear, but we have 2 teenagers, and they're both girls. So if we survived Shark Week in the Pwnecast house with the girls, we're doing all right. So apparently, me and Lycan are matching. We both look like a version of Finding Nemo. I don't really know what's happening.
I wasn't a big fan of the shirts that they had on the presentation. The
Illidan thing, you didn't like it?
I want to see what the new Horde symbol looks like for the Legion. Have they shown that yet?
It's a white flag.
Oh man! Oh, I set myself up for that one. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, we're really gonna get on out of here because we are overtime. Bye, guys.
Bye, Felicia.
Did you see I posted a picture? It was the definition of Felicia.
Yeah.
No.
Like what it actually means for people when you say bye, Felicia, and they're like, "What do you mean?" It means bitch. I said bye.